maybe potentially the biggest heel in the conference. I don't because of the money part, but
I
the
feel like
Texas
this is
Tech,
the new
the Red
shiny.
Raiders.
This is the new shiny pair of boots. Like this is the new ball of the town. If anybody's if like you've talked more, we've talked more about Texas Tech than you've ever talked about Texas Tech in an offseason. Like
Yeah.
you saw it in softball, by the way. Like they went and spent a ton of money on a pitcher, and all of a sudden they're playing for a national championship. So Cody Campbell's been a talked about guy. He was at Big 12 Media
He
Days, which
was
I
there.
find
That was
absolutely fantastic. Like the dude could find a couple $100 million in his couches, and he's wearing blue jeans, which I love, with cowboy boots, just sitting down, kind of kicking it. Like again,
and the fact that he's there
I've
in and
said
of itself is amazing.
yeah, I've said this for years. The biggest beneficiary in NIL is the state of Texas because the money. It's just it's very fluid there. It's very good. It's nice. And so they went out and spent $55 million, I think is the last number I saw on their squad to be ultra competitive. They spent hundreds of millions of dollars, actually 240 plus million on their stadium. That's one of the best in the country. So if anybody name me a team in the country more, Brent Rollins, than Texas Tech that have said all in. Like, I'm taking off my belt. My belt's in this pot. My watch is in this pot. Like, they got everything they own in the pot saying, we're going to try to win this league and make a name for ourselves.
I don't know. Actually, is it everything in the pot, or is it just a watch?
Well, for Cody Campbell, God dang, you're right. Jeez, Mania. Like,
watch. But
it might just be the watch.
The thing
right.
also too is the general manager component of this, and there's been a lot written about him in terms of how they went and got this roster and how they targeted specific guys within this roster. Like the running back transfer from USC, the Joyner kid, he's going to be good. David Bailey, the edge guy from Stanford, going to be really, really good.
Those are guys that have already been good. Like
yes.
they didn't get guys that you go, oh, this guy could be really good at this level. Like that's Stanford, that's USC. Like you've already seen that they're really good against really good competition. Like yes, those aren't maybes.
No, not at all. And what's phenomenal about their program and just this season for them is just the experiment that it is in the new world of college football. That can you actually do this and entrust it to a coach who's, by the way, who does have their quarterback back in Barry Morton? That's a big deal. I don't think my guess is a lot of this doesn't necessarily happen without him being back because maybe you got to go spend a lot of that money on the QB spot. But it's just going to be fascinating to watch because, like I even said in the open, the one question to me is, are they literally everybody's Super Bowl because of like the target potentially on their back is, hey, we know you guys bought your roster. We're taking it down no matter what. That's one where I'm fascinated to watch the entirety of their season.
No, I don't think everybody's looking at him like that. I think everybody's like, oh, wait a minute, can I come over there and make that money too? I don't think they're upset with it. No, but listen, everybody starts to get targets on their back or whatever. But Texas Tech, they haven't won a ton. This is not a team that's dominated this league, so it's going to be interesting to see what they are. But like, they also made some investment in their coaching staff, and they got a new OC and a new DC. Like it's not business as usual. That is new things. And Morton, you talked about him. He's also coming off shoulder surgery, so he didn't participate in the spring. Loved him at Big 12 Media Days. Just loved his, like, yes, sir, no, sir, smiley, just super happy. Like, I loved his persona and the way he carries himself. But, you got Mac Leftwich, who's coming to call plays. He's a Texan, which is a familiar thing with this roster. Joey McGuire's done a good job of getting Texas guys, Texas high school football coaches, because that's what he is, and trying to recruit and build from the inside. And the dude played at UTEP. But guess who he coached? You know this, and you might know this from your research, but guess who he coached in college, who was a really high draft pick at quarterback last year?
Wow, why am I drawing a blank on this? You got me.
Incarnate Word.
Oh, Cam Ward. Yeah.
Cam Ward. He coached Cam Ward and was in a run. He's been in that system where it's pass happy. He's been in the run happy systems, and so I think he'll be a good mix with Morton and in this offense. And the transfer hall, that how fast do they morph in and get in? Because you're probably going to have at least 11 starters that are transfers, and that's
entire defensive line.
Yeah, and Brent, that's the least part I care about. Like, we're big dumb animals. The name of this show is See Ball, Get Ball for a reason. Like, ball move, I move. Like, I don't need a lot of chemistry. Offensive line, you need chemistry. You need to know where that guy is, where the help's coming from, what the front is. Like, defensive line is, I'm kind of lining up. I'm kicking my guy's ace in front of me, and I'm going to get the quarterback. I'm stopping guys. Like, it's a very easy position to integrate into, and they got some studs. Like, go ahead and list off those studs on the defensive line. They didn't go get guys, Brent, that some people wanted. They went and got guys that everybody wanted and paid them a lot of money and beat out all the big schools for these guys.
Yeah, Romello Height from Tech, David Bailey we'd already talked about from Stanford, and then Lee Hunter on the interior, and Skylar Gill Howard as well on the interior, and Central Florida and Northern Illinois for those guys. But guys that were desired in the portal, very much so, especially Bailey. And once Bailey put his name in the portal, it was kind of almost assumed that he was going to go to Texas Tech. But it was one of those where they got him first and they kept him. And I think he's just scratching the surface of how good he can be.
They got a new DC too. So this is I mean, it's just a lot of new, man. Like a lot of new at Texas Tech, and that's probably why maybe you're not all in on them winning this conference. And that might be the one thing that holds you back a little bit from going, okay, they're the most talented roster. Like top to bottom, they might be the most talented roster, but there's a lot to figure out from a play caller standpoint on both sides of the football, and a lot of new pieces. What do you think about the schedule?
Well, that's again, like we talked about with BYU, kind of silver lining. You got Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Kent State, Oregon State all at home in your first 3 weeks before you go at Utah, and then later at Arizona State, later at Kansas State. I think those first 3 weeks and seeing what they are and what they can be, that's going to be big for them, sort of learning, getting the cohesion, getting the chemistry, all that sort of stuff, and finding, you got to build a team. You got to, leaders, all those things that, yes, you do in the off season, but you got to do it when the games matter too and when they're actually happening.
Yeah, but man, it's nice to play a bunch of those teams that we were talking about, like the roster turnover and teams that we don't expect a lot from. They've got a lot of those on the schedule. And, this is going to be a really good season. No Iowa State, Baylor, or TCU on the schedule. So expectations should be high for Texas Tech. The chips are in the middle, the watch is in the middle, but obviously there's still a lot more left probably from Cody Campbell. And, they're building this squad, and a lot of excitement in Lubbock. Cool place to play, crazy atmosphere. I imagine this squad's going to be jacked up and ready to rock and roll.